The Federal and Francis Xavier Engineering College jointly present the Nellai Marathon 2024. This event is powered by Little Flower Public School and NIMS Hospital, Tirunelveli. Run for Health on Sunday, December 29. Entry is free and all are welcome.
How the art form transcends all these barriers and, kind of reaches people. Any form, for it to be relevant, needs to be kept vibrant and keep moving and adapt to the changing times. As I don't believe in ostentatious arangetrams.
Okay.
I think it's a pointless thing.
The Me Too movement has exposed the dark underbelly of the Carnatic world. How safe truly is this industry? Hello and welcome to this Margazhi Special with TheFederal. I'm joined by celebrated classical dancer Ms. Geeta Chandran. Ma'am, thank you so much for joining us on TheFederal. Wonderful to have you.
Hi.
Firstly, congratulations on your prestigious Nritya Chudamani Award. I think it's been 50 years in dance for you. Right? It's a remarkable milestone, isn't it? You look back at your career in retrospect. How do you feel?
Gratifying moments when it has been challenging. But I think on the whole, it's been a journey of firstly being a student of Bharatanatyam, then a performer traveling the world with this beautiful art form as a cultural ambassador, and got to travel India, the length and breadth of it, performing, meeting interesting people, different kinds of people, different communities, different languages, and how you see how the art form transcends all these barriers and, kind of reaches people. Then as a teacher, sculpting the dance on young bodies and trying to understand the next generation, which comes with a complete skill basket, which is completely different. So the pedagogy always has to be worked upon. You can't say my teacher taught me like this so strictly and she used to throw the thing on me and do that today. So it doesn't work like that. So today we have to see what works with the next generation. And then traveling with my students, performing as a group, the Natya Vriksha dance ensemble that we have. We've traveled to many, many interesting countries with the ensemble. So yeah, it's multi-pronged. I also conduct the recitals of my students. So teaching, performing, choreographing, traveling, it's been a very, very hectic and interesting life.
Wonderful. So Bharatanatyam has been deeply rooted in the Indian cultural heritage, right? But we are witnessing influence of various other dance forms in Bharatanatyam. How do you look at this as a seasoned dancer?
I feel very early in life, I did my master's in communications from the Indian Institute of Mass Communications, and I began to understand the importance of communication, understand the importance of collaboration. So I was one who probably was very early in my career, took the risk of experimenting with the form, pushing the frontiers of the form, because any form, for it to be relevant, needs to be kept vibrant and keep moving and adapt to the changing times. As they say that you can only define the banks, you cannot decide the flow. So as long as the tenets of aesthetics and the grammar is kept, I think you can really experiment with the form. So I've done work with theatre people, with puppeteers, with interesting visual artists. So whatever interests me, I used to do. I used to not think, oh, is this, the done thing? Is this within the boundary of the art? I followed my heart.
Now, I also wanted to bring your focus onto arangetrams. You had your arangetram at the age of 12. What kind of, to be seen as a formal initiation into the world of Bharatanatyam has evolved into some kind of an extravaganza, right? And no less than a mini wedding these days. So do you see that the arangetram, present-day arangetram, drifting away from the very traditional values of Natya Shastra? How do you see it?
I don't believe in ostentatious arangetrams.
Okay.
I think it's a pointless thing. You must ask all these teachers who claim to have done 200 and 400 and 1,000 arangetrams, how many of the students are still dancing? The question is, an arangetram is like a stepping stone towards becoming a professional dancer. When the teacher feels the student is ready, it was actually meant to showcase and tell the peer, her peer or his peer, that here is my work. I offer this to the community, and she would now be, taking the art form forward. But today it's, as you rightly said, it's become a social event where lots of money is spent and it's flaunted around. And the next day the student either flies off to America to study or is going into medicine to study. So I have my reservations about these kinds of things, because ultimately it is the student has to stay the course. And, whatever she does, she must be dancing, right? So arangetram is okay. It's like marking a 10th grade or something in your studies. You can do a small affair and do a neat job of it, call your friends and do. But to make it a mega event and then the dancer really not looking at dance for the rest of their lives, I think it's a waste of time and money.
I also wanted to get your perspective on how you use your performance as a medium to address social issues, right? I mean, you've been a communication student as well back in college. What is the best impact you've come across till date?
I've done a lot of work on women, on environment. These two are the main subjects that I've worked on. Recently, we did something called Our Voice, which is on women's issues. And this was a commissioned work by, I think I've been very fortunate that, research organizations, women's organizations have really asked us to create work for their kind of work that they do, something that fits their mandate. So we've got a lot of opportunity like that. So it's been, dance has become central to the engagement or to the debate that is happening. It's not just an entertainment evening at the end of a conference. It's part of the conference. It's part of the agenda, part of the intellectual discourse. So I think that has been a very important thing for me personally, because relegating it to just entertainment, I think trivializes it, because the possibility is huge vis-a-vis dance. So I would like to still explore much more of that and bring it into the center of discourse.
As an advocate for preserving arts in today's world, how do you see the future of Bharatanatyam? And, what are the challenges you see in present environment, especially when you take Bharatanatyam to the global stage?
I think we are now, kind of slowly coming out of the solo, unfortunately, the solo, mold of Bharatanatyam, which will continue, but that will not be the only way the Bharatanatyam is going to survive. But everything has become spectacle today. So I see more and more of collaborations of many styles being juxtaposed together and giving a spectacle, impactful thing of 40 minutes. And that's what internationally will be traveling or going around. So I think there's going to be two different kinds of work. One is the traditional margam and the traditional solo, and the other will be the spectacle work, which will, I think, in a sense, be the next 10 years. That's going to be what is going to be seen more and more, and that's going to travel more and more. And for too long, we've been told that you can't create spectacle with classical dance. It only is Bollywood that can create the spectacle. But I think we have broken that myth. And today we see a lot of ensemble work which resonates that idea of spectacle.
One last question there, ma'am. The Me Too movement has exposed the dark underbelly of the Carnatic world, shedding light on the widespread harassment that the women have long described as an open secret in the industry. These accusations have surfaced even in public domain and even at iconic institutions like the Kalakshetra. So I would like to know your perspective on how safe truly is this industry, and how you view the prevailing culture of silence surrounding these issues.
It's true that women still don't speak up. And even in the North, that's true of many of the dance forms. But because of social media now, I think it's empowering many of the people to take up the issue, talk about it, shame the people who are involved in it. So I think social media is helping in people coming out and talking about it. And I think institutions have become much more aware now, and they have systems in place where there are, strict measures taken if things are come to their notice, and there is a committee that is set up. So I think awareness is definitely much more today, and we just need to empower the women to come up and speak more.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Wonderful talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Federal and Francis Xavier Engineering College jointly present the LA Marathon 2024. This event is powered by Little Flower Public School and NIMS Hospital, Tirunelveli. Run for Health on Sunday, December 29. Entry is free and all are welcome.